Hey guys, it's Dave. Welcome back to the channel, and today I have some bad news for you. Turns out I am a plant killer. I don't know if you've seen the plant behind me there. Yeah, it's definitely dead. Put it in the background, and it has not survived. I tried to water it, but apparently I'm not very good at that. Anyway, just kidding, just because I noticed it in the background as I was about to film. Today I want to talk a little bit about my own strategy around investing and the moves I've made lately, including some trades I have made around Rocket Lab stock, and kind of how I'm thinking about trading in the space sector going forward. I know these tend to be actually a bit of a less popular video format than some of the other ones where I share news on your favorite companies like Rocket Lab, but hopefully some of you guys are at least interested in the trades I make and what I'm doing with my own portfolio. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised that isn't a little bit more popular. Anyway, so just to give you a little bit of a history lesson on the channel, if you are newer to the channel, I've been following the space industry for probably a good 2 years now, and for the majority of that time, I've only held Rocket Lab in the space industry, although I have followed a lot of other companies pretty closely. There's been several train wrecks over that time, and a lot of companies with extremely scary financials, a lot of companies I didn't believe in, a few other companies that I do find interesting. I ended up adding a small position of Planet Labs. That stock does remain an interesting one to me. Intuitive Machines is starting to get interesting at the right valuation, maybe, but I'm going to dive deeper in that later. And all this is to say that during this time, I feel like I've learned a lot about the space industry and these space companies I've been following so closely. Obviously, Rocket Lab's my favorite. I'll continue to hold those shares for the very long term. No plans on selling anytime soon. But during this time, maybe I was a little less confident, a little more timid. I feel like I did let some opportunities pass me by, things that I did call at the time, and you can go back and watch the historical videos. So, for example, Virgin Orbit. I came out with a video, it must have been at least 6 months before their bankruptcy, maybe 5, saying, look, I think this company is in huge trouble. Now, at that time, I could have bought some puts. I could have been short the stock. I could have made some money off of it. I didn't do it. I thought, you know what, I'm kind of new to the space. Maybe people are seeing something I'm not seeing with this company. Who knows? Didn't pull the trigger on that. Sure enough, it did end up going bankrupt. So, you know, anytime you think you know what's going to happen, there should be a way in the stock market to make money off of that, assuming the companies are publicly traded. Another situation just recently arose where basically if you followed Astra at all, you know that they are on the verge of bankruptcy. Now, the two kind of co-founders have offered to take the company private, buying out shareholders. And recently, they reduced their offer to buy out the company by 2/3. So they were offering $1.50 per share, and then they reduced their offer to 50 cents per share. But it's actually worse than that because their offer was contingent on the balance sheet having at least $20 million on it. And the company basically warned investors that if this offer doesn't go through, it could be facing imminent bankruptcy. So I was looking at this news and looking at the offer for the shares to be purchased for 50 cents per share. And when I was looking at it, the shares of Astra were trading at $1.72. And I was like, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. Like, is there something I'm missing here? It makes no sense. Clearly, they should be close to 50 cents per share. This company looks like it's going bankrupt. Even the board is warning investors, and the only path to potentially saving it is going private at 50 cents a share. I actually did submit an order for puts on this company. I tried to buy puts, basically meaning I would make money if the stock goes down. Sure enough, it did go down from $1.70 to, I think at one point it was closer to 70 cents. I could have made very good money on that. Of course, you know, there's not that many puts out there on the stock. It's a very small company. But yeah, there's been these opportunities that have gone by and I haven't pulled the trigger on. Now, there have been opportunities I have pulled the trigger on. Rocket Lab is one that I have felt very confident for a long period of time, has a good support around slightly below that $4 level, maybe $3.80, and I have sold puts on that and really just pocketed the premiums each time. So basically how that works, if you're not familiar, is if the stock drops below $4, I'm agreeing to buy the stock. If it stays above $4, I just get to keep the cash. So I think all this is to say that I'm now feeling confident enough, and I want to do more when it comes to watching the space industry and making some of these moves. Another one I was thinking of is I almost bought some shares of Intuitive Machines before their lunar lander. I thought there might be a big pump up followed by a crash, and sure enough there was. I mean, I'm not sitting here trying to say like I know everything, because I don't for sure, but I'm just saying I'm going to try and make more trades. I'm going to try and trust what I think for the future while still holding the companies I do believe in long, and I hope to have a little more fun, and I hope to capitalize more on my knowledge, which at the end of the day, I know like half of me following the space industry is because I love space and I think it's cool. The other half is that we're in it to make money off that however we can. So I'm really going to try and I think go after more of those opportunities. So that brings us to today. I do have a few things to show you. Before we dive into these trades, please do consider hitting that like button and that subscribe button if you haven't already to help the channel continue to grow. Every subscriber is very much appreciated. And another shout out to the channel members. You guys are, next level, the best. Thank you guys so much. All right, let me show you my latest Rocket Lab trade. So here's the screenshot from my trader workstation with Interactive Brokers, and I have 40 puts of Rocket Lab at $4 per share with a expiry date of late April. So if you're not familiar, again, basically what this means is I'm agreeing to buy Rocket Lab shares at $4 per share on April 19th. So for this agreement, I am receiving basically $920. Right now I'm down a little bit. It's $953, but I'm totally fine with that. That's just kind of the regular fluctuations on the stock. Very simple calculus here in my mind, and something I feel pretty confident about. Again, this is not me giving you advice, just sharing what I do. I do think for the vast majority of investors, holding the stock for a long period of time is the best option. This is just like a little side trade I'm making. So if Rocket Lab is above $4 per share, I will just keep all $920 for free, end of story. If it's below $4 per share, I'm buying it at an effective price of $3.77, which is basically all-time lows. So extremely comfortable buying Rocket Lab shares at all-time lows. I don't think it will happen. To me, it's a win-win. If it does go to all-time lows and I have to buy it, so be it. I'll add those shares. Now, this is risky, of course, because it's going to make me more heavily weighted on Rocket Lab than I want to be, but these shares I would consider more of a short-term move, and I probably wouldn't hold them all forever just because that would weight my portfolio extremely heavily towards Rocket Lab. So why do I do this? Well, pretty clearly, I love the company. I love the stock. I think the support level is there at 3.8. Highly doubt it will go below 3.8. I think we've had all the bad news we can take lately. We've had Adam Spice selling. We had the capital raise. We had a little bit of a miss on earnings, although that was basically just analysts not updating their numbers. And I'm pretty confident. So yeah, that's what we did there. Hopefully we make a cool $920. If not, we add some Rocket Lab shares on the cheap. Just a quick interruption here, guys. I do try to keep the sellout shilling to a minimum, but I think Seeking Alpha is generally a pretty good site, pretty high quality stuff on there. So I do have an affiliate link if you are interested down in the description below as well. I'll share it on the screen now. We have Seeking Alpha Premium, which can give you a portfolio tracker, powerful screeners, breaking news, top stock picks, and expert analysis, as well as Alpha Picks, which will offer you top stock picks every month. If you're interested in signing up for that, we have coupons as well as trials in the special affiliate links down below. Of course, using those links if you're going to sign up for Seeking Alpha anyway, will help out the channel as well. Thanks for sitting through that. I hope it wasn't too painful, and let's get back to the rest of the video. Some other things I'm going to keep an eye on in the future going forward. I do think Planet Labs has probably bottomed. It is trading relatively cheap compared to when you think about the cash on their balance sheet and stuff like that. Now, I know the growth has really stalled on this company, and I've been a little unsure of adding a large position, but in the future, I might consider selling some puts on this. Probably would only do it if Rocket Lab starts trading higher and I can't get good money around that $4 level. Like if Rocket Lab's at 6+, then obviously I'm not going to get a lot of money for agreeing to buy it in the future at $4. So Planet Labs, another one I plan to keep an eye on. By the way, this is just the screenshot of my Astra puts that I did want to share with you guys to show that like I tried to make this order, and basically what happened is at the time I submitted it, it was trading at around 41, 42 cents, I believe, maybe per contract, and I tried to get a little too cute with it and get a little bit of a better price. I'm sure we've all been there where you try to get a slightly better price than it's trading at right now. The trade never goes through and you don't make money. So it didn't happen. Little sad about that. The lesson, I think, is if you're very confident in a thesis and an idea, you don't have to try to extract every cent from the price action and get the best possible price. Just get the price that's available, make the trade, and if you did your homework, you'll still be fine. Maybe you lose out on a 1% of that return you could have had, but overall, making the trade better than missing out. As I said previously, another one I am kind of thinking about is Intuitive Machines. They had a big move around their lunar lander, which was mostly a success. I was pretty impressed with their team's execution and how they handled the difficulty of landing on the moon. They have a couple more lunar landers for NASA coming up, and now we saw, at least on the first lander, what happened. Big spike, followed by a pretty sharp crash. I might keep an eye on this one for when the next lunar lander launches and consider adding some shares short-term around that time. Just could be a nice little short-term trade as I kind of have more fun with the space industry, make a little more moves. Hopefully I can convert some of my knowledge into money. Hopefully it's a little more entertaining for you guys too as I make more trades and you can see what happens with each one and follow along. I hope you guys do find that interesting. That's more of a side perk, though. I would never make a trade only for content. That would just be silly. And I'll keep watching the industry closely, as I always do, to see what more opportunities come along. I think where you can really get into trouble with these trades is if you think to yourself, oh my God, I haven't made a trade this month. I have to find something. I have to do something. And then you see, oh, that could be a option, and then you pull the trigger on something that really wasn't there. That's why I just kind of wait till I see opportunities, and I'm not really trying to force anything, and I don't have a quota for myself of trying to make trades regularly on like a schedule or anything like that, or certainly not day trading. And again, I will hold long a lot of the same stocks that I have been holding for quite some time. In terms of my portfolio's performance over the past month, if you're curious about that, now this is just the main portfolio, not including the separate retirement account. I'm up only about 1.5%. I was up a lot more earlier in the month, but unfortunately, both Tesla and Rocket Lab have had a bad couple days. Honestly, Tesla has just been a drag on my portfolio for the past like 2 years. It's been kind of frustrating. I'm going to keep holding it. I do believe in the future of full self-driving and Optimus. It's just a tough time right now for the company and frustrating to have it drag on my portfolio, but I certainly don't want to give up on the company personally, and that says nothing about what I think of their CEO, who I know is always a hot topic. Now, on the plus side, at least, making up for some of those Tesla losses right now is Nvidia. I did hop on this bandwagon quite recently, maybe a month ago, a little more, at $550 per share, and I bought 10 shares. So if you do the math, that comes out to about $5,500. However, it's really taken off like a rocket since then, so I timed this pretty well. Can't take all the credit there, though. I think this was a little bit of luck. I was planning just to hold it for the long term. Didn't see this big move coming. But what we have right now is a gain of over $3,000 as we moved from 5,500 to 8,800. So I'm quite happy with this one, and does ease the sting of those Tesla shares at least a little bit. And of course, when this happened, instead of just being happy, I also have a part of me kicking myself for not adding more, but that's how it always goes. Obviously, making over $3,000 in a month or two off of just a $5,000 investment is really nothing to complain about. So that's it for me today. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Am I making a big mistake, taking a big risk? I really don't think so at a $4 put. Like, I can see $5, $6 Rocket Labs puts being very risky, but $4 per share, I think, you know, it's hard for me to go wrong, at least in my opinion, as long as you do have the cash available to end up buying those shares should you need to. Let me know how your portfolio has done over the past month in the comments below. I'm going to make these portfolio updates and trading update videos fairly regularly, maybe once a month, once every 3 weeks, that kind of thing. And always interested to know what you guys are thinking and what you're doing down in the comments below. I do quite regularly learn from viewers and what they say, as you probably saw from my recent valuation video where some mistakes were already pointed out. So thank you guys for that. I will be able to take that feedback and make those updates. Definitely the best fact checkers available is posting these things for everyone to see. That's it for today. I hope you guys do have a great day and a great rest of the week. It's actually getting really nice out over here. Feels like spring. I'm finally happy about winter being done. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.